raced for years. Just outside Redruth is the United Downs Raceway, where Cornwall's daredevils come to play. The Cornish are famous for lots of things, but few know they have a winning reputation on the racetrack.
And here we go. I haven't seen banger racing since I was about 19 in Walthamstow in East London. But I remember it to this day because it was carnage. This is like the Mad Max of Cornwall, I imagine.
I think in another life I could have been a racing driver because I love it here. United Downs is the only racetrack in Cornwall. Twice a month during the racing season, drivers come from all over the southwest to try their luck and impress crowds of up to 1,000 people. To many, stock car and banger racing is as Cornish as a cream tea or a miner's pasty. But there's one fella I really want you to meet. A carpenter by trade, this is Bill Batten, a champion among champions, with a racing career of over 40 years.
Before we start, can you just run through everything you've won, Bill?
12 British Championships, 476 final wins, every Irish, Scottish, European Championship. Every championship that's going, I've won them multi-times, won the World Final 4 times.
4 times?
Yeah. The first time I won it, I had that many supporters and fans. They all invaded the track. And they just picked the car up, and they carried the whole car and me on a lap of honour. And I'll never forget it as long as I live.
How come when you're telling me that, I don't think you're conceited?
Just everyday thing, innit? It's like you cooking your fish and chips. Produce it, and that's it.
That is a terrible noise. What's that then?
That's electric nut gun.
It's a nut gun?
Yeah, it's a cordless nut gun, and it just rattles the wheel nuts off, as you can hear.
I must say I'm really enjoying today. It's really exciting, and it's got this lovely sense of community. What do you think stock car racing means to Cornwall?
It's a huge sport for Cornwall.
Yeah.
Look here today, the sort of people coming here watching it, giving them an interest.
It's lovely watching all the families sort of mending the cars.
Yeah. It is a community of people, not just here in the southwest, but all over the country, really.
Bill made his reputation in stock cars. Unlike bangers, these machines, modified cars that you or I could buy, are built for speed rather than bashing each other up. A famous racing dynasty in these parts are the Marquins. Joe is the 3rd generation of the family.
Joe, isn't it? Joe?
Joe, hi, you all right?
Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Aren't stock cars supposed to be production cars?
Not anymore. Back when my granddad was doing it, back in the 60s, they were based off production cars. They've come to a fabricated chassis now.
What about the engine then?
The engine, yes, so the engine comes from Ford, so does the gearbox and most of the drivetrain, really.
Where's the steering wheel?
Steering wheel, and we take off just for ease of access, really.
So what, you mean you can't get in until you put
No,
the
so
Fantastic.
they're quick release steering wheels, which is quite a motorsport thing. Formula 1 does it, so.
That's your dad, John?
That's my dad, John. He used to race back in the 80s and 90s.
So in the 80s, you were using production cars then?
No, very similar to that. My car looked much the same as that, although it was a lot more simple.
I was looking at all your accolades. I mean, you've all got, and your granddad as well, you're like sort of world champions.
Yeah, my granddad was 1965 world champion. Yeah, this is back back in the 60s where the Southwest really dominated it.
Do you think there's anything particular about the Cornish personality that makes great races?
I think nobody takes themselves too seriously.
Yeah.
The genetics probably run, you know, obviously Grandad must have been a good driver. There's a lot of second generation drivers, especially from Cornwall. I think the name repeats itself, the number repeats itself. It's a bit of my number 689 was Grandad's. You know, that's so the family connection was always made people that don't necessarily know what I look like recognise me because of the name and the number on the side of the card.
689.
Yeah.
It's the same both ways up.
Not that we tried to demonstrate that.
No sooner had we finished our interview than it was time for Joe to line up for his race. That's him there in the orange, number 689.
I reckon we're in with a good one with Joe. Racing in a traffic jam, isn't it? So good, it's sort of reverberating in your chest. You're so close to it, so noisy. He's doing well, he's just overtaken. And again, there he is, overtaken again. Third. When you think of Cornwall, you think of beaches and everybody on the beach going swimming. Well, quietly, behind Red Roof, in the United Downs, there's a short oval where people are really having fun in the sun. I just think it's a great afternoon's entertainment, I have to say. Better than cricket.
From a group of people happy to destroy